What's the easiest choice you can make? Window instead of middle seat? Picking a vendor who sends a great gift basket? Outsourcing business tasks you hate? What about selling with Shopify? Whether you're selling a little or a lot, Shopify helps you do your thing, however you cha-ching. Shopify is the global commerce platform that helps you sell at every stage of your business. From the launch your online shop stage to the first real-life store stage, all the way to the did we just hit a million orders stage. Shopify's there to help you grow. Whether you're selling scented soap or offering outdoor outfits, Shopify helps you sell. Wherever and whatever you're selling, Shopify's got you covered. Sign up for a $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/try. Go to shopify.com/try now to grow your business, no matter what stage you're in. Shopify.com/try.
Well, let's go from black gold, which is Texas crude, to gold itself, and our guy that you hear regularly here at WABC, Paul Stone of Colonial Metals. Happy Thanksgiving, Paul.
Happy Thanksgiving to all of you as well. Thank you for having me.
All right, so we just talked about basically mining shale to frack and turn into black gold oil that we can use in the United States. But clearly, you're there, you're involved in precious metals. So with the changeover of the Biden administration to the Trump administration, new Treasury czar, a whole host of financial options that will be put into place, what are the prospects for your precious metals?
Well, I think they're actually stronger than they were if Kamala had won, because I think that the long slog of this reckless, inept government financial leadership would have just continued on had Kamala won. And we don't know exactly when we mathematically speaking, hit a very, very, very hard stop. When I was down at Mar-a-Lago a few weeks ago, lucky and blessed to be celebrating with President Trump and everyone else that had worked so hard on his campaign, I was blessed to be invited to go and attend AFPI. I could sense, and I have been able to, I think we all can, that, that Donald Trump and everyone that wants to work with him is going to work very hard to spin up one hell of an economy during the next 4 years. But in the way that gold is important, it fights uncertainty and it fights collapse and it fights, recessions and depressions and that sort of thing. And with the idea that you're going to be able to get Congress to send a budget bill to the White House that's $2 trillion light, I just don't see how that's going to happen. I don't see how Congress is going to ever cooperate in the way that we need them to save the dollar and therefore hopefully down the road not even need gold and silver in a very serious way because the government or the leadership out of Washington, out of the White House, reverse engineered us from this nosedive into financial health. I hope that that's a possibility. I just don't see how it could work in a way that we're expecting. And so if our expectations go unmet, we would then be without hope, because who else could do a better job and work as hard as Donald Trump to change this around?
Now, Paul Stone of Colonial Metals, I one time had an opportunity to tour the Federal Reserve down in Wall Street and look at all the gold bricks in the basement that are behind these caged fences, and they have the name of the country on top. Then they have some cages off to the side with no name up there, no country. And naturally, me being the Weisenheimer that I am, and I say, whose gold bars are those? And he said, Mr. Sliwa, we're not at liberty to say. But they know if you put your gold here at the Federal Reserve on Wall Street, no matter what is happening, what calamity in the world, third world country, first world country, your reserve here can keep you going individually, your business going, or even a nation going. Now, were they pulling my leg a little bit there?
No.
I've been to that. I've been to that thing in
15,000 tons of gold
in the sub basement of one
right.
Chase Manhattan Plaza.
Yeah,
right. Yes.
But Paul, your important points with John and Curtis. You follow gold mining and production and yields better than anybody in the world. You see Africa, Australia, Latin America gold mining production and yields at record lows. How do you see that trend continuing to decline, and how do you see that catalyzing the price of gold and silver in the future with your brilliant Colonial Metals group?
Oh, thank you so much. That's a great question, and it's also another great question that draws reality back into the conversation. Gold and silver are certainly going to be finite. Oil, it could be finite in some way. Or maybe there's enough oil for 1,000 years. Maybe there's enough for 200 years.
There's enough oil for a zillion years. What people don't realize about oil, it's not from dinosaurs. It's made by the planet Earth.
Exactly.
And it's made by the planet Earth, and the purpose of oil is to create lubrication between the plates.
Tectonic plates.
The tectonic plates. That's why if they do too much fracking, it causes earthquakes in that area.
Right, and so that one of the differences between these two commodities is gold and silver are not made on the Earth. They were made from what astronomers believe is two colliding suns that happened older than the Earth itself. So gold and silver shot into the Earth's surface from the space debris as the Earth formed causes there to be very little of it. And here's one of the scary things: we only add on average 1% more gold and silver to the surface, above the surface of the Earth. We discover 1% more than we had already discovered in its totality every year. So if there were 100 ounces of gold out around the economy last year, there's 101 ounces this year. So it's very hard to find. And yes, the mining reports have been showing for years now that they've been declining in how much they can find. So when you think of food, it's still finite, even though, certainly in this country we can go to any grocery store and see that all the shelves are full. That's not the case all around the world. Food has to be grown. If farmers just quit their jobs, you'd really find out how finite food is, right? Gold and silver are finite, but because they're real, that was always the thing that made money for humanity, because it was limited, it was hard to find, it was real. It was special. When your money system has nothing to do with anything real, it one day isn't going to be special. And that's why this cost-cutting stuff is so important. And it rings so well with everyone when they hear it. DOGE, cut government waste, fraud, waste, and abuse. The tough part of that is there's two parts. One, go identify what you want to cut. And another part to part one is get the Congress to send you a bill that Trump will sign that's $2 trillion light from the $7 trillion bill that Biden set up last. The second part is understand if the economy is drinking every drop of printed money that you can create for it, because it has to have every drop, and you choke out the economy by not letting it have $2 trillion for the year, you are going to cause pain and hell somewhere. There are going to be struggles. There are going to be hardships. This economy, the world's economy, is addicted to printed money. You'd literally be like not giving an alcoholic his booze for the day. He would just go into a shock. He would go into a coma. He'd go into convulsions. It wouldn't be able to function at all. Might die. So that's a reality that I probably am a nuisance in making regularly. But I think that these next 4 years are going to show just how actually impossible it is to solve this financial problem.
Well, Paul Stone, I can tell you from the streets, not from Wall Street. That's not my expertise like you guys, but from the streets, I can tell when the price of gold is going up. Because I'm on a subway and I'm watching guys take their gold cap off, take their grill out that has gold in it, because somebody eyeballing them for a gold chain to snatch and then take to the hock shop. The price of gold is up. Because the street, meaning the thugs in the streets, know the value of gold. That's why you'll notice people will hide their gold when gold is up.
But, Paul, to Curtis and your key Colonial Metals points, what do you see the effects of the mine workers stealing from the mines in the countries with political unrest that are so important for gold mining, most notably Sub-Saharan Africa, Indonesia, and the countries with other countries with political unrest in the mining regions like Latin America. How do you see that risk going forward for production and the effect of all the things you talked to and Curtis just referenced?
Yeah, that's another great point. I read a great story of a mine in South America. I believe it's, I don't want to guess, it could be Chile, but it's a big mine. China owns the mine, and MS-13 type gang is in there raiding 2/3 of the mine, literally shooting the miners, blowing up tunnels, and they're walking away with hundreds of millions of dollars of gold out of this mine. And I think the world is still seeking it as hard as it possibly can. It's still more important today, likely, than not necessarily in the minds of all consumers, but of governments and central bankers, not the United States in particular, but outside the United States. It's just that these countries are so woefully unfunded from their own treacherous financial leadership their governments have put those countries through for the last many decades, that they can't actually protect their own gold mines. They don't have the money, the finances, the resources, the cohesion to protect something that is so important, at least to that country's well-being. And it's in their own dirt, and they can't keep foreigners or attacking gangs or elements from stealing or harassing their miners. It's just another sign of government ineptitude. Imagine if we couldn't defend our own. There's gold and silver mines, copper mines inside the country. Imagine if we couldn't defend that. We couldn't protect that from getting stolen. How foolish we would look. Wouldn't that be a reflection of the government itself? So anything that keeps the source of gold, right, all of the gold that honestly ought to be in the holistically ought to be in the financial world or in some central bank's vault to defend it against the collapse of its country's currency, to provide buoyancy to that country, or a way forward should the lights go out in the way that we're used to having the lights on from all the printed money. It's scary stuff, and it really draws attention.
Well, gold's been around for thousands and thousands and thousands of years. Gold will survive, and it should be used. You know what I say? You can't put all your money in gold. You can't put all your money in stocks. You can't put all your money in real estate. But you should have a little bit of everything.
Perfect.
Yeah.
I think that's I think that's the ideal investment strategy.
Well, on that note,
on this day, if you have a savings that could be diversified, as John was saying, how grateful are we today? How much do we have to be thankful for today? If we even have a savings, we might need to be looking at protecting or diversifying. Well, I am so grateful for what you have done for me and my family, John and WABC and everyone there. And I can see all your smiling faces, and I love you all. And I'm so glad you brought me on today. Happy Thanksgiving.
Well, happy Thanksgiving. And
enjoy the day.
And Paul, for those that are interested in looking at your portfolio of Colonial Metals, how can they go online and do so?
It's pretty simple. ColonialMetalsGroup.com. Look over the website, and there's a great report that we offered and we keep updated at freegoldguide.com.
I'll do appreciate it.
Now, let me ask you, Paul, where are you in the world today?
I am in Virginia.
Is the sun shining or it's raining there too?
It's supposed to. Yep, it just started. But they do say raining on your wedding is good luck. So I'll take it in as good luck today that it's raining where I am. Yeah.
What was that? It's raining on your wedding and it's good luck?
Are you getting married today again?
No, I'm just trying to parlay that piece of rain on your wedding.
You can only get multi-married in, Utah?
Judy Garland did Somewhere Over the Rainbow.
Somewhere over the rainbow.
All right, Paul.
Paul, this is Chad. Happy Thanksgiving to you and your family.
Chad, happy Thanksgiving.
He's working too.
If you're a maintenance supervisor for a commercial property, you've had to deal with everything from leaky faucets to flickering light bulbs. But nothing's worse than that ancient boiler that's lived in the building since the day it was built. 50 years ago, it's enough to make anyone lose their cool. That's where Grainger comes in. With industrial-grade products and dependable fast delivery, Grainger can help with any challenge, from worn-out components to everyday necessities. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.